Some inherit money, others land. Clara Moore inherited a place that remembers every word ever spoken, a place that never forgets a scream. They call it the Hollow, and when the whispering starts, it means it's already too late. This is the story of a house that feeds on voices, a forest that seals you in, and a silence so thick it might just kill whatever's still listening inside you. Welcome to the Whispering Hollow, but be warned, listen too closely, and it might whisper your name next.
The letter arrived on a Tuesday. No envelope, no return address. Just a single page, yellowed and damp, slipped through the mail slot as if spat out by something ancient and unseen. It read, "You've inherited the Hollow. Come alone, come now, before the whispering stops." Clara Moore hadn't spoken to her Uncle Silas in over a decade. Not since he vanished from the family without warning. She barely remembered the man. Long gray beard, ink-stained hands, the smell of damp leather and tobacco. He'd been obsessed with genealogy and old-world superstitions, convinced their bloodline was cursed. Now she found herself driving into the thick forests of Maine, following roads that weren't on any map, her phone dead for hours. Her GPS had frozen at a blinking dot beside the word hollow. The trees thickened, tangled like bones under skin. Fog coiled low to the ground. Something about the air felt off, as if it hadn't been breathed in centuries. The house emerged like a carcass from the woods, half swallowed by ivy and rot. Victorian, with turrets and gables and windows that stared like black eyes. A single lantern glowed on the porch, as if expecting her. Inside, time had collapsed. Dust layered over furniture like snowfall. The ticking of a grandfather clock echoed, though it was stopped at 3:07. She found the study first. Walls lined with books bound in flaking leather. Strange diagrams pinned to corkboards. Spirals, family trees with branches crossed out in red. A map of the Hollow, marked with black X's. The whispering began that night, soft, indistinct voices threading through the walls. Not outside, inside, behind the plaster. Clara? Clara. The next day, she uncovered Silas's journals. They told of the Hollow's secret, a place where sound lives forever. Every word, scream, or whisper spoken here was trapped in the land, echoing back through the soil and stone, growing louder as the years passed. Silas had discovered the family was tied to the Hollow. Generations buried in the woods. A pact made long ago when their ancestors had fled something worse from the old country. The Hollow kept them safe, but demanded a voice in return. Clara's dreams turned feverish. She saw faces in the wallpaper, felt breath on her neck. She woke one night with dirt under her fingernails and no memory of leaving the bed. The voices no longer whispered. They screamed, they begged, "Don't let it in. It feeds on sound. Close your mouth or it will find you." Clara tried to leave. Her car was gone. The path she came through, swallowed by mist. In desperation, she followed the map. Each black X marked a grave. Family. Some headstones fresh despite their age. One had her name carved, date blank. At the center of the Hollow stood the well. She peered down. The whispering roared. Something moved in the dark. She threw the journals into the well, heard them slap the water far below, but the voices grew louder. Then, one rose above the rest. "Clara, you were born to be the echo." A figure climbed from the well, long-limbed, faceless, its form shifting like smoke. It moved without sound, but when it reached her, the screams inside her own head were deafening. She ran. The house rejected her. Walls rearranged, doors vanished. Every time she cried out, it grew stronger. Feeding. Only silence heard it. She bit her tongue until blood filled her mouth. She pressed her lips shut, ears ringing. The thing wailed, then fractured, turning inward, collapsing into itself like a dying star. The Hollow fell silent. The trees still stood, the mist still crept, but the voices were gone. Clara buried the well, burned the journals, sealed the house, but she stayed. Someone had to keep the silence. Now, if you walk too close to the Hollow, you'll hear nothing at first, just wind. But if you stop, if you listen, you might hear breathing behind your ear. A voice you recognize, softly whispering your name.
The Hollow is quiet now, but that doesn't mean it's empty. Clara sealed the doors, buried the dead, and chose silence over screams. But silence isn't peace. Not here, not in a place built to echo. So if you ever find yourself near an old house in the woods with no birds, no wind, no sound at all, don't speak, don't breathe, and above all, never answer. When you hear a voice behind you, whisper your name.